everyone. I thought I would share a few exercises with you that are very good postnatally for abdominal separation. So this is where we get this gap between the tummy muscles where you can bring the fingers and kind of really press them in, and you also get that kind of doming around the belly when you go to get up. If you do feel that you have this, please do go and see a doctor, GP or a physio just to get this confirmed. And there are certain exercises that postnatally, if you have this, that you don't want to be doing, and that's anything really where it kind of pushes the belly out. So things like planks, crunches where you might be kind of pushing the belly out need to be avoided. There's other exercises that you can do that kind of bring all this back together, they help to kind of knit everything back together, okay? So I'm going to share a few of those with you now. The first one that we're going to do is we're going to come to lie down. Okay, so we're lying down on our backs. Now just bring your hands onto your pelvis. So you've got the hip bones here, fingers on the hip bones, thumbs around the back. If you let you rock your pelvis forwards and back a few times, so you kind of feel your way into those movements, those ranges through the pelvis. Okay, now we're going to go about halfway between the sort of forward tilt of the pelvis, where you're bringing the pelvis forward, where there's quite a big gap under your lower back, and then that tilt where we're pressing the pelvis into the floor. We're going to go halfway between those two ranges, so there's a natural curve in your lower back that you can feel your way into. Now bring your hands down by your sides. You can always keep your hands onto your pelvis. We want to keep this area quite still. We're going to take a deep breath in first. And as you exhale, you're going to pull up through the pelvic floor muscles. So that's it. The best way to describe this is if you were having a wee and you're going to stop yourself mid-flow. You're kind of pulling up those muscles. Show a little bit more connection through the transverse abdominals here. And just making sure that you're not flaring the rib cage. There's no gap under the upper back there or the mid-back. You want to keep the ribs in. Tummy draws in as well, so you're not popping the belly out. We'll do that a few times. Breathe in to relax. And then exhale. Pull up the pelvic floor. Drawing the belly in. Okay, and then inhale to relax. And exhale. As you breathe out, you're pulling up the pelvic floor, drawing the belly in and keeping these ribs down. Okay, now from here, you're going to take, so you've got your knees in line with the hips, we're going to take that right knee to hip height, so the foot comes away from the floor and that knee is in line with the hip there. Okay, maybe just a little bit slightly forward of the hip will make it easier. And try to let your pelvis move, and your lower back shouldn't move away from the floor as you take that left foot. This is where you want to make sure the belly's not popping, you're really strong and connected through the core there, drawing the tummy in. Bring your right foot back down and the left foot back down, okay? So it's a nice, slow, considered movement. We're not just kind of flinging the legs up and down. You're really thinking about what you're doing here, trying to, especially as that second foot comes off the floor and you're less stable, we want to make sure that we keep that stability around the pelvis, around the back, keeping the tummy muscles working. Okay, so you should feel your back is against the floor, but if you can keep that little arch in your lower back, keep drawing the belly in, don't let the belly pop at all here. And we're going to do a few more. You can always start with the opposite foot coming up first, and then the other foot. Just so we get used to different kind of patterns, starting on the other side, because you might feel more stable on one side than the other. Okay. So I would do 3 sets of 10 of these lifts and then build that up to 20, 30. Have a little rest between each set. Okay, and then place the feet down. Just take a nice deep breath in and then exhale all the way out. Okay, the next one that I'm going to show you, I'm just going to pull this mat over to one side because I want to be able to slide your leg in and out, and I always end up pulling the mat up with me. So I'm going to lie actually on the floor there so I can do this. Okay, so I've got the knees again under the hips. I'm going to bring my hands into my lower back. There's another thing that you can do. Just have your fingertips or your fingers under your lower back, so that you're creating that natural curve, and then press your lower back into your fingers. So you've got something to kind of rest against. Now from here, you're going to slide your right heel away, and then we're going to drag that heel back in. So the pelvis doesn't rock here. Left, so you've got alternate legs, left heel slides away, and then you drag that left heel back in. You're going to press the lower back into those fingertips, the hands, draw the belly in. We'll inhale as we slide the leg away, pressing the heel away, and then exhale as you drag it back in and really squeeze the belly in. Feel like you're pulling the rib cage back into the body. So if you had a corset on, you would sort of tighten the strings of that corset as you drag that heel back in as you breathe out. Okay, so heel slides. And really press the back into the hands there to give you that feedback that you're not tilting the pelvis forward and creating a gap there under your lower back. It might be nice to breathe in through the nose and then breathe out through the mouth. Pull up the pelvic floor, draw the belly in, inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Okay, so heel slides. Again, do 3 sets of 10 and then build that up to 20, 30. Okay, so last one, I'm going to bring the mat back, and we're going to do a little bit on the sides. So side planks now, variation on side planks, really good at getting into the obliques, so these muscles around the waist that kind of switch off when we're pregnant, become non-existent. So we're going to get into those. So we're going to come down to one side, and again, imagine you've got a corset and you're kind of trying to draw the strings of that corset and tighten it and bring everything back in. Okay, so this is going to help. Everything goes that way when we're pregnant. Postnatally, we want to bring everything back in. Okay, so we'll come down onto one side. I'm on my right hand side. I'm on my forearm, got the knees together. I'm just going to get you to lie right down, so you're on your right on the side of the rib cage. Now use your left hand, so you've got your knees together about hip height, squeeze the knees together. Left hand comes down onto fingertips and press those finger pads into the floor, and just feel that you draw that right side of the waist away from the floor. So you create almost like a little mouse hole. So rather than just relaxing and collapsing down, and you kind of collapse and the belly's come forward, if you press those fingertip pads of that left hand into the floor and just draw the waist away from the floor on that right hand side. Now keep that contraction, come back up onto the forearm there. Okay, now we're going to breathe in, so we want to feel that you're again drawing that side of the waist away from the floor. Come up with this left arm and then press the hips forward, so you kind of squeeze your bum a little bit there, and then come back down onto the side of the hips. Breathing in as you come down, and then exhale. Now press the hips forward, feel like you squeeze your bum, almost like you're tucking it under, and then come back down. Inhale down, exhale. Inhale down. Exhale, squeeze that underneath side of the waist, tuck the bum, so you're going to press the pelvis forward, and then one more. And then come down, and then you'll swap to the opposite side. So we'll come on to the other side. And again, if you start down first, just bring that hand down, right hand down, knees together, push the finger pads into the floor, so you lift the underneath side of the waist away from the floor. Okay, keep that contraction as you come up onto the forearm. Keep the knees level together. Breathe in as you exhale. And again, press the pelvis forward. Inhale down and exhale. So you should feel that underneath side of the waist. There's a little contraction there in those muscles. Inhale down. Exhale, breathe through the mouth. One more on this side. And exhale. Okay, that's a variation on side plank from there. So 3 exercises there for you that should help postnatally anyway, but particularly if you feel that you have got this, this separation issue here. I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching. Namaste.